Hello everyone, a very warm welcome to all of you. So market is correcting and correcting relentlessly, and while this is actually taking place, the setups are working beautifully. Traders who trade on the basis of setup, the setups actually deliver better risk to reward to all your trades. We are here to understand what is in store for Nifty as well as Bank Nifty in the coming week. But at the same time, let us try and understand some of the stocks which have not yet corrected in this entire month. So if we take a look at the Nifty 50 chart, I have a Nifty and a Bank Nifty daily chart in front of me. And if you take a look at the Nifty chart, the correction started here on 30th of June. And from there, for the last 1 month, it is correcting. But while this correction is taking place, there are still certain pockets, there are still certain stocks, stronger stocks than Nifty. Two methods that I'm going to discuss today, how to identify these stocks. One will be a manual method and another will be something called as a screener, and identifying the stocks basis that screener. So first thing first, Nifty as well as Bank Nifty, both these indices right now are below their daily 50 EMAs respectively, and this is the level for Nifty. It seems like a good level where the support is there for Nifty. If at all the low here, which is 24,462, if this low is taken out, this is for now in this recent time, I would say this is a important support zone, is what my understanding is. The price here is 462, 24,462, and this level should be held. Right now, the correction that has taken place and almost a month has gone by in this particular correction. When you take a look at this visually, if you take a look, you will realize that Nifty has corrected more vis-a-vis to Bank Nifty. Bank Nifty has corrected less. For major period of time up till 25th of July, Bank Nifty was in a way consolidating, and after this consolidation, finally in last week it has given up. It has shown some kind of a fall, and currently it is the weekly candles can be seen as a bearish candle in case of Nifty, both Nifty as well as Bank Nifty. Right, so this is how the picture is. Now the most important part is Bank Nifty has already made a new all-time high, whereas Nifty has not made a new all-time high. This can be considered as a lower high. Typically this is where traders make big mistake, is that people think that considering this is a previous high, all-time high, and this is a lower high, so they expect price to go in this way, in this manner, from this high to low, then again this lower high, and they expect price to go down. This cannot be considered as a valid thing unless and until price closes below this level, right? So let us not get into anticipation. It can happen so that price can take a support somewhere here in between, or take a support at a 50 MA and then bounce back. Now we are having this kind of possibilities is only and only because currently it is the fifth bearish candle. So more than a little over 1 month this correction is right now prevailing. This is taking place. As I said, as I mentioned, that Nifty looks like it has fallen a lot as compared to Bank Nifty. So if we measure this fall from Nifty's high to this low, then the fall is about just 4.5%. So you don't need to think that it is everything is over and this is going to be a catastrophe and all these things. That's not required, unnecessary reaction. And if people are telling you that the economy is not doing well, then maybe you need to hear from better knowledgeable people. So this is just 3.5% for Bank Nifty, 4.27 for Nifty, and 3.5% for Bank Nifty. So clearly Bank Nifty is an outperformer. What is my definition of outperformance? That a particular stock or index which has fallen less or it has gained some percentage, or it has bounced in the appropriate period where Nifty or the base index can be anything. It can be Nifty 50, it can be Nifty 200, it can be Nifty 500, whichever base index you consider. For a broader market understanding, many people use Nifty 500, even I use Nifty 500, because that gives you a holistic kind of approach what is happening in entire market, right? So top 500 companies on the basis of market cap can be considered in this. So comparatively the fall there is much lesser. So here Bank Nifty is kind of an outperformer, and that is good enough for us right now. So if at all you want to short something for intraday, then Bank Nifty should not be shorted. Nifty is your index to be shorted for intraday purpose, and if you want to go long, then you have to look for Bank Nifty to go long intraday right now. As long as the Dow theory has not changed on hourly, we will not look for a going long kind of a setup, but it seems that we are very close to some kind of a intermediate bottom, and market should ideally show us some kind of a bounce is what my expectation is. Now let me share a trade one of my student has taken in this particular week. The reason why I am sharing this trade is because the possibility how a particular setup thing work. I always emphasize on the fact that there has to be a setup when you take a trade, and what happens when you have a setup is that you get a limited risk, and in proportion to that limited risk you get a reward in that way, right? So here let me just share that with you. So this is one trade that one of my student has taken, and this was a trade wherein Nifty 7th August 25,000 put he has traded, and on the previous day he had entered this trade, and from there after the Trump tariff announcement he could gain more than 200 points in this particular trade. So the trade was something like he entered somewhere here on this resistance of 50 EMA, and from there it is expected to fall. So it fell on the opening of this candle. He booked somewhere around 400-ish level. One thing that we need to keep in our mind is that this trade was taken with a small risk of price closing above the previous day's high. So it was a win-win kind of a trade. So even if there was a gap up opening, that losses would have been minimal. Here in this case, the trade has gone in favor because the trade was with 100 lots. So the magnitude is something that you can be seen. My point here is not about 100 lot. I am not here to tell you that everybody can trade in this quantity or everybody can be profitable using F&O. That's not why I'm here for. I am here to emphasize on the fact that the setup does the magic. So whether you are trading with 1 lot, 5 lot, 10 lot, 100 lot, 1000 lot, that depends on your money management, right? I'm not here to show you dreams or prompt you to do something, but if you learn the method, if you learn the process, then you can make it as big as you want, right? So keep it simple, and if you follow the setup is going to deliver you in a big way. Right now, as we can see, Nifty 50, we have a hourly chart, and this is a time for us to draw the range. The range for this particular week will be around 24,500, and the higher level would be around 25,000, right? So this is how I am looking at the range. For now, what we need is that hourly Dow theory needs to be changed, and once the hourly Dow theory changes, then we can talk about the next possible consequences. We are expecting, all of us are expecting market to kind of bottom out. Why I am thinking that market should bottom out is that initially what happens is that the market will start making swings. So the first swing was here, and then there was a retracement. This was a second swing. So if you measure the first swing, So the first swing that we saw here is about 1.3% or 330 points. The second swing is 2.13 points or 544 points, right? Next swing is a smaller swing, right? 1.5 or 300 points, 370 points. What has happened now is that from this level, this is one of the swing, which is about 2.5. So this is the biggest swing so far. First is 1.32, second is 2.13, and third is 2.57. But here right now we can see that this is a smaller swing, comparatively smaller swing, right? About 400 points. So there is a great deal of possibility that somewhere here we should get to see a kind of a bounce, and then that bounce, when if it changes the Dow theory on hourly time frame, then and only then we will consider it fit to go long from there. We will not anticipate. Let us wait, understand, observe, and once we get a confirmation, then and only then we commit to the trade. See, the beauty of setup, I always talk about setup. There are various setups to make money. The beauty of the setup is when you trade, you would have a fixed risk and a better reward in your trading plan, trading system, and that is something, if it delivers, then it will be a fantastic trade. Even if that trade fails, the losses, the stop loss will be bearable, will be easy to accept, because you have expected that outcome out of the trade. So keep it simple, things should get better. Now 25,500 is one aspect. This is the support level that we are talking about. The first challenge for Nifty will be to breach above this 50 EMA and sustain above it. Hourly 50 EMA, it should breach and sustain above it. It should cross above this level, right? This level of about 25,000, you can say. So it has to cross and sustain about 25,000, and then the next leg of rally can proceed, right? So whenever this reversal takes place, this reversal should take us to a new all-time high, is what the expectation is. And don't expect a lot from this correction. Don't expect the market is going to fall a lot, even though on a shorter period of time you may see that it is falling relentlessly, but it is going to reverse soon. Let us not get into whether it will reverse on a Monday or a Tuesday. We'll allow some time for market to breathe. Let it confirm, let the hourly Dow theory change, and then accordingly we can align ourselves, align our trends according to that. So if we take a look at the Bank Nifty index, so Bank Nifty index, in a way, it was consolidating for a majority of the time, and after this consolidation now it has given up and currently trading around 55,600. Range for Bank Nifty, again range for Bank Nifty can be 55,500 and the upper limit can be 57,000. Yes, 57 is good. So this is how I am looking at the Bank Nifty range. So Bank Nifty should be near bottom, because there is a huge support here in this zone, in this particular zone. So it should ideally give us a good probability that this is the support zone, and this zone should provide support to Bank Nifty even at this point in time. So 55,500 should work for us, and Bank Nifty should be headed to a higher level. There are stronger stocks, banks, which are relentless, which are not willing to fall. They are not budging here, they are not falling much, and these are the stocks you should be focusing on. Now, how to find these stocks? There are two methods. As I mentioned, there are two methods to identify these kind of stocks. Now, the first method wherein we look for stocks is that I have a list of stocks which are kind of outperforming the market. So if you take a look at the TVS Motors here on a daily chart. So for 1 month, past 1 month, Nifty is correcting, and during that phase, TVS Motor has not corrected much, right? So this is clearly, by looking at it, you should be able to see that TVS Motors has not corrected as much as the Nifty index have corrected. Or take a look at the stock like Indian Bank. So Indian Bank also from the top, it has not corrected much. A stock like Fortis Healthcare, it is at an all-time high right now. Nifty is correcting for 1 month and this stock is sitting at an all-time high. We should look for stocks which are falling in a category like Fortis Healthcare. Take a look at ICICI Bank for that matter. So in spite of Nifty's fall, ICICI Bank is kind of consolidating or not correcting much, right? So this is not the stock to short. Rather, whenever you get an opportunity, you have to accumulate this. Take a look at HDFC Bank. Not willing to fall, even though it is correcting. That correction, that consolidation means it is being accumulated by someone, and then it has to rally from here. Take a look at L&T Finance. So these are the stocks which are not very keen, keen to fall, right? So we have to focus on these kind of stocks which are exhibiting some kind of a strength. So this is one method where you manually go and look for stocks which are correcting less. And another method is that you use a platform, here I'm using a platform like Strike. This is not a promotion, this is not a paid promotion. I just use this platform and that is why I'm sharing this with you. If you take a look at the Nifty 50, and I've selected 1 month because Nifty correction is going on since 30th of June, right? So past 1 month it is correcting. So I'm just selecting 1 month. You can also select the period, can be custom period. Okay, that also you can do. And during this period, what are the stocks of Nifty 50 which has fallen less? So one is Eternal, which is like 16% up. Hindustan Unilever, ICICI Bank is 3% up almost. Asian Paint is there, Hero MotoCorp. And then you go to these stocks individually and check which are the stocks are very close to their all-time high. And that can be your key to identifying a better performing stock. So this is one rudimentary method. Apply this same on Nifty 500 and you will get a host of stocks, right? If you want to use this on, let's say, F&O stocks, so there will be a list for F&O stocks as well, I believe. So this is PSU. Then you look for Nifty 200. Most of the stocks of Nifty 200 are part of the Nifty F&O. Okay, so you'll have these stocks, Nifty 200 stocks which have performed well, and then look for the outperforming stocks. Something like we have selected, let's say, TVS Motors, or we have selected a stock like HDFC Bank or maybe ICICI Bank. So all these stocks are part of this particular index. If you take a look at Nifty 500, then you will find a host of stocks. So these are the stocks which are not willing to correct in spite of the Nifty fall of last 1 month. So that bear market or whatever correction that is taking place is selective. You must know where to look for, right? So if you take a look at these kind of stocks, how to select this stock further or how to pinpoint where to invest, all these things I'm going to cover in a 1GM program. The 1GM program link I'm going to provide in the description box. If you feel like if you want to know more about the stock selection criteria or how to select stock for your equity investments, do join 1GM program. So that is the easiest method to do it. But as on the front where we are talking about Nifty as well as Bank Nifty, it seems that we are very close to the bottom formation. Unless and until the hourly Dow theory changes, I will not call it a bottom. So I am not in a rush. I am not the contender to call the top and bottom. I am just waiting patiently for the setup, and the setup is something that will deliver big time to us. That's it from me for this particular week. Thank you so much for watching. I'm signing off. Bye-bye.